Welcome to the You Heard podcast with your hosts, Ben, Joe, and CP. We're here to cover everything related to Miami Hurricanes football, from hot topics to pre- and post-game analysis.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end. We'll talk about it.
No, let's talk about that right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying, like, I don't appreciate.
What did you say? No. What are we talking about, man?
Get into it. I feel
keeping it a buck.
You heard?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Hey, look. Hey, my guy's back. Right here. This way. My guy's back. How you doing, family?
First of all, I want to say something real quick.
Oh God. Okay.
I'm looking on our Printful account, and I see a sample of a Arabian man. It looks like in a tank top. With it looks like just a tank top on. It looks like a long after sex shirt on. You know,
that's hot. Like it's hot. Some of the sample pics are crazy that they got. Yeah, that's why
he has the no matter what tank top on, and it's just long, man, and it looks like he just finished. You know what I mean? And he's taking
he just finished. He literally just finished. He just finished. Yeah.
I'm
just for the record, that is not something y'all see in the store. That's just a sample that they have in the behind the scenes.
Please don't.
No,
please don't.
On our website, youheardpodcast.com/merch. It's just purely the shirts. Ain't no models up on there. You know what I'm saying? It's purely just the shirts. As y'all see, got one of the new shirts popping on. You know what I'm saying? Got the all white. Yeah, man. Damn, you didn't skip a beat. How you doing?
How's the week, son? How was the week, man? How you doing, brother?
It was cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Got my hearing back, talking to our guy. You know what I'm saying?
You look like a seasoned professional out there, man.
Thank you. You know, it was different when you got to be in charge and not just chopping it up. But shout out to my guy Cafecito and Canes. John held it down on Wednesday, and then Willie Falcone. You know what I'm saying? Willie Diamonds.
Willie Diamond.
Willie, you know what I'm saying? Willie from 305 Sports Now joined me on Sunday, man. It was good. It was a good conversation, man. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? My guys were on vacation, so had to throw up the U signal. And you know what I'm saying, have some guests on and chop it up with them, man, get their perspective. I didn't realize all week was gonna be a TVD conversation. You know, shout out to Kane's Legacy for dropping the cut up of all the interceptions he threw last year. So, you know, just kind of the chicken or the egg thing, right? Is it Dawson or was it Tyler? So it was cool to get their perspective on it.
I didn't think we were still talking about.
No, we're not. I'm just recapping that week. Just recapping last week what we talked about. I didn't realize that would happen.
Yeah. Hey, yo, salute to everybody in the building, man. We got 24 in the building so far, man. Appreciate y'all guys, man. I miss y'all, man. And you know,
y'all be safe down there.
Closer, man. Every show, we getting closer to the season.
Every single show.
Every show, we getting closer, man. So
we're about 6 shows away, probably 6 to 7 shows away from fall camp, and about 10 shows away from the start of the season, roughly. Yeah. If I'm doing my math right. Hey, y'all, everybody in South Florida, man, please be safe. I'm hearing the weather is crazy down there. Hopefully, I'm saying if you want to tune into us while you're driving, that's your prerogative. But I suggest highly focus on them roads, man. The roads in South Florida are dangerous enough with all this rain that y'all getting. So just be safe and, you know what I'm saying, pay attention. Don't be afraid to drive 10 and 2. You're never too cool for 10 and 2 to make it home safe, brother, ever.
Absolutely. All right, man. So listen, man. First of all, shout out to Polk and CB, man. I know CB's so happy he got his crib. He's settling in. He's getting back to doing what he really wants to do. You know what I mean? So happy for that, man. Polk been working hard this week, you know. So you know he's ready to chill and sip that bourbon on Friday, man. You know, so
yeah, man. Yeah, Polk's handling a crazy week. Shout out to our brothers, man. They're not here today, but you know what I'm saying, they should be with us on Sunday. We'll see how that all lines up. But it's family, man. Like, even if we don't talk to them on the pod, we talk all the time. Our group chat is about a year and a half strong. And when we added Poke, 6 months ago, it hasn't skipped a beat, man. So shout out to Poke for the work he's doing. He does a lot of things behind the scenes. His creativity's, you know what I'm saying, has been crucial. We all the amount of pictures we send to each other and critique and, you know, this and that is crazy, bro. It's a family, man. It's lovely.
Yeah, man. You know, we've been working hard this week. Some of us have been just, you know, chilling at home all week. That's why we look mad refreshed. You know what I mean? Some of us look mad jovial. You know what I mean?
A little bit.
You know, real refreshed, man. So salute to y'all. I'm not, you know, we're not mad. You know, you just we got an alternative lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Whoa, pause. Wait a second. What you mean? Hold on. Wait. I gotta diversify my portfolio. What you talking about? Alternative lifestyle. I will have you know, I did enjoy a day off today. Thank you very much. But yesterday I did work.
Day
off
off today?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I had to work yesterday. I didn't like it. I actually worked Monday too. This is actually my first, and I had to work the rest of the week. So I honestly don't appreciate your tone and the way you said "we" as you're looking straight into the camera for the first time.
You must feel some type of way because I wasn't referring to you at all.
Guess what?
I wasn't referring to you.
No, you were. Yeah, you were. It's all. Everybody else got a regular ass schedules. Don't be mad at me because I don't.
I didn't mean it like that.
No, I'm not.
I didn't mean
First
it
day
like
back.
that.
All this disrespect. No, it's fine.
Mean it like
I was actually jovial because, like, I got my brother back. I'm saying we're gonna chop it up.
Mean it like
got things
that.
to talk about. No, but it's fine. I'm a backflip out the situation. Just like KV, I'm a backflip out of this. You know what I'm saying? You do
I didn't mean it like that. You know what I mean? I didn't mean it like that. CB. Ben spent his day off in the country hunting crickets or whatever motherfuckers doing the booney. Yeah, that's facts. You know,
that's facts.
You know,
I had to have a big ass tree cut down.
You know what I mean? The gun line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's on site. It's on site, man.
Tree to tree around the property.
That's exactly. Step within that tree might be the last thing you ever do.
Yeah. All right, man. So listen, Julio Frank.
Yes, sir.
Has decided to leave. The president of the University of Miami. I think he's going to Cal. Right?
UCLA.
Really? I thought I saw Cal.
Yeah, University. Okay. They spelled it was very confusing because they spelled out UCLA. University of California, Los Angeles. Yeah.
Okay, got you. Yeah, so I don't know the relationship.
If you know,
I don't know the relationship with Julio Frank. I do know he wasn't involved in much athletically. I do know that. But I don't know how involved he was in like the medical part of it.
Yeah. As far as making the school and more academically achievable and more academically viable to the standards that he brought it to. Remember, he got the certifications to was it the AAU thing or whatever it was a couple years ago. You know what I'm saying? That was his main focus. His focus was always education, not so much the athletic side, which is why there's a lot of people that are very excited about him leaving and transferring, heading the transfer portal to UCLA. And allegedly, from all reports, look, we ain't in the news and business. Shout out to Manny Navarro. He according to Manny Navarro, Echevarria, the new interim president, was very heavily into the athletic side of it. He was one of the people that had a lot to do with bringing Mario there. Y'all could check his Twitter. I reposted it to my page. So that looks like it's
how you say his last name? Say his last name for me.
Echevarria.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He's from the BX though. So
BX
somebody on Twitter said he's gonna be like George Steinbrenner.
Yeah.
And if he's like that, that means we have no budget. That means
no budget.
That means we just out here buying everything and everybody we need to win. Yeah. And if that's the case, I'm with that. but I know he's interim right now.
Yeah, he's interim right now. What's important about things like that is the amount of money that they made a bunch of money from the hospital side of it and all the investments that they made on that side. You know what I mean? But hence why they were having money now, which is why people were so upset and up in arms about why they weren't spending money before, because the money that they had is the universities toward and put it towards a better program and investing in the athletics on all athletics, right? We've seen a downfall across the board for the University of Miami. But yeah, he's you make moves, and he did it. Julio Frank did what he needed to do, what he thought was right for higher education, and now you got to make the money on the football side of it, because you know what I'm saying. Absolutely. Now you could do a bunch more things. Like, look, we saw the experience of how cool it was to go on campus for the football game, for a spring game. Like, you start investing in that and start making it more and more of a community. It becomes easier thing to root for, and make it more viable with a better product out on the field.
Yeah. So what do you know about the interim? Do you know anything about him? Have you heard anything about him?
Just what I've seen on social media. It's very rare that it's been kind of a consensus of positivity. You know what I mean? From all the content creators, like even people who what I'm saying, just across the board, that they've been like, yo, now it's time to get busy. I think I saw Kane's Legacy tweet some stuff out. Orange Bowl boys do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just along the people who talk about it and have been doing this longer than we have and covering this team. Yeah, everybody's been like, yo, now it's time to make some moves. So everybody's been positive.
Right. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on and what differences, if any, we see or we're privy to. I know he's definitely a Mario guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So Terrence said that if you scroll on the Discord for, I'm assuming, Flo's chat, it's a lot of information on there. Okay. Shout out to Flo for the culture on Monday. Check on there. I'm saying, if you're not part of the Discord,
you already talk about it more on Monday.
Yeah, you already know how Flo does with the NIL. All the money goes to the NIL, man, and that's how we do it here.
Yep. All right, so another big, well, not even a weekend, a week. What's today? Yeah. Third. So I just saw Wednesday. A picture of VB3, Vernell Brown. To those who don't know, the third. And the picture was the whole fam.
Yep.
The whole fam, man. His fam, it sounds like he brought a lot of people with him. And the whole Miami fan. So the whole Miami staff, it looks like. I'm sorry about that. Ben, what are you telling Vernell Brown, man? Like, what's your pitch? What's your pitch to him?
I mean, it's an easy pitch to him. We had challenges on the offensive side last year, yes, but we still had two receivers to have almost 1,800 yards on a quote unquote bad offense.
Sure. We
could bring you in. Those yards can go for 1,300 to 1,400 because he could break the tackles. You know what I'm saying? Get some more yak out there. Everybody can eat. Because our third guy had 550 yards, right? Yeah. And Kobe Young had 550 yards. Like, that's a very productive offense, and that was the first year of installation. And now you're gonna see what we're gonna do this year when guys know exactly what to do and what I'm asking of them. I think it's honestly, like, I know we say a lot about like what this offense is, but it's a very easy pitch when you just put like the straight facts out there and take the emotion out of it, right? We had two guys that had almost 2,000 yards in production. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's not very common across the country. You know what I'm saying? For a team that got looked at like, yo, we don't have an offense.
Yeah.
So, now I'll ask you, Joe, as the wide receiver, as you know what I'm saying, as somebody who went through this process, what is something you would want your son to hear? Because, you know what I'm saying, what's something that you would want your son to hear if he was a receiver? So just basically a younger version of you.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's gone. Like, potentially this year. Well, we know X is gone. Isaiah Horton could be gone.
Mm-hmm.
He could leave this year. If he has a good year, solid year, I think he'll be highly coveted in the NFL, and he could go. And JG3 should be bouncing. So what do we? It's open. You know what I mean? You
Open
could come in into especially if you get in early, you could come into a perfect situation, man. So I think I'm talking to him and French actually about the playing time available next year. How open it could be. It's an open competition next year. So the concern I would probably have is who's going to be the quarterback. Like, who's going to be my quarterback? My quarterback is, the quarterback is leaving. He only has 1 year. Cam Ward is gone.
Yep.
So,
and you don't have another Cam Ward in that roster. You don't have another Cam Ward in that roster.
I would have concerns about that. But obviously they'll figure that out. But it's really going to depend upon what the offense looks like this year, man. I'm convinced. I don't think any of these guys are going to commit early. So, I mean, they may commit early, but you know what it is. Wake us up in December. It's not going, whatever.
Full government name. Oh, the full
yeah,
government.
I feel you, CB. I know who you like, but we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, man. You know what I mean? We know he's going to be there, but we don't know what it's going to look like. So, that's the only concern. But
what up, Brandon? Yeah, definitely not knowing who's going to be throwing you the ball next year is 100% a concern.
Yeah.
Look, he's not a big. The chat's already on it. He's not a big Miami lean, but we don't know what these.
We don't know what type of lean he is. He hasn't told anybody what type of lean he is. These are reports.
Yeah. I can tell y'all anything. You know what I mean? Like, I can say anything to you. That's why you got to be careful with what you read and when you read it. We don't know how any of these players are going. Not saying that he is
come out. Facts. He hasn't come out and said anything.
No.
And fam, how do you think that this staff is out of any battle? Like, for real? Like, how do you really think that?
I don't understand. So I've been seeing a lot of that, right? Like, people being negative. It was like, how are you negative with this recruiting that this staff is already proven to do? It's like, he's not coming here. Like, I don't like by the people who follow the metrics and follow those stars and all that shit. I don't care about them. It is what it is, right? But like, if you care about them and say, well, we're not good, fam. Like, we've had the top 2 classes ever for our program in the last 2 years. Like, Mario beat his own record when he went from 7 to 3, right? Like, and he did that off shitty years. You know what I'm saying? On the score, like in the win-loss record. Like, that type of shit matters. Like, if you think, and if they go with what everybody's projecting with the 10 plus, 9.5, right, is like the over. Mm-hmm. If he does that, you show proof of concept, and you show that you can, with a quarterback balling out. Like, how are you saying that we're out of this and we're out of that? We're not out of shit. We're not. I don't care I don't know where they dropped their graphic to. I don't care about any of that. Justin Scott was out, right? Justin Scott was gone. I was
about to say, I'm sure that was the talk last year with all the D linemen. We're not getting nobody. So Carl Davis, I feel you. You're talking about the truth. I get. How do you think it's the truth? That's what I'm saying. That's fine if you're saying it's the truth. How do you know it's the truth? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because last year, that was the same talk about the D-line. We're not getting this. We're not getting them. We're not getting them. And the D-line class is crazy.
Best in the country.
So I don't know how you say that in June when signing day is in December and a lot of factors can happen between now and December. So I don't say how you could say somebody's out of it. I don't understand that.
I just want to show this. I agree with this. I agree with this. I agree with the statement from Terry.
Oh yeah, we've been saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
There's
facts.
people who love Emory. I get it. He broke his arm, but
Yep.
um, you
He
know,
he broke his arm when the other one wouldn't run though. I mean, like
yeah,
that's
he broke his
when
arm.
you
I get
compare
it.
when you compare him to what was there, I can see the Emory love. I can see. I understand it. He gave up
Yeah.
his arm when the other one wouldn't give a speech. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no
Let's see.
doubt, man.
CB says, bro, Mario don't even really get busy with recruiting this early. This is him chill right now. Fam, he's just introducing himself and making and handshakes and showing himself to the family. Like this is he hasn't even gotten busy yet. And we're I think we're ahead by the on the rankings, right? We're ahead of where we were last year. So we can only move up. So I mean,
Yeah.
again, it's June, man. Like it's June. Like that's why like wake us up in December is what it is, man. Like that's the motto forever. That's never going to change. Pen to
Never.
paper is when it counts, and we'll see what it is.
Right, QB. So Emory is starting in 2025. You don't need a game breaker for what the roster will be around him. Carl Davis, we don't need a game breaker, but in 2025, you need a quarterback who can make things happen when shit is not happening. If you get what I'm saying, you don't a quarterback who can't move is a liability. So you got to have a quarterback who can at least escape. You know what I mean? If you look around the country, none of the quarterback from Georgia, I can't remember his name.
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck. The quarterback from Quinn Ewers. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're not athletic. They're not athletes. They're not going to kill you athletically, but they can move. They can escape. Yep. They can, move off the spot and make a good throw. Emory Williams has not demonstrated that at all.
Or arm strength.
At all.
If we keep it,
you know what I mean?
If we keep it in the book, we don't know if you could throw the ball deep. Like we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't know what that accuracy is. You know what I'm saying? On a 9 route, if you could throw it perfectly placed it between the same, we have because he was never asked that up. You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know.
Yeah.
QB
Rocky is saying
for a guy named QB, he hates QB talk. Listen, man, it's where the conversation goes.
Rocky saying Mario and man don't give a rat's ass about when they care about their own line keeping the QB's jersey clean. I think they do. I think they do. I think they do. I think they realize. I don't think they're stupid. They may have been stubborn, but I don't think they're stupid. I think they understand that a quarterback who could, and we're not saying like super athletic, but a quarterback who can move helps their O-line. You know what I mean? That makes their O-line look better. So, I think they understand that, man. You know what I mean?
We're not obviously we're not talking about Terrell Pryor's. Like you see, they didn't like having JB here. We're not talking about those type of quarterbacks. We're saying people that are mobile within the pocket to buy time to make those plays when the safeties think the play's over. And now we still got 2 more seconds, and you can hit them over the top. That's what we're talking about.
Or when the defense drops 8, a quarterback who can step up and pick up 5 yards. You know what I mean? For to make those linebackers cheat up, make the safeties cheat up a little bit. So, that's all, man.
It's different, man. It's just different. That's all.
Yeah, it ain't.
But no, he's not starting quarterback for next year. He's not on the roster.
Yeah, I don't think so. But everybody has their opinions. You know what I mean? So you think if people think it's Emory, that's fine. If people think it's Poff, that's fine too. If people think Luke Nickel gonna come ahead early and take a job, that's cool too.
He is an early enrollee. We already know that he's an early enrollee. He'll be here in January. 904. Shout out to 904, man. Always in the chat, stays on the rewatch squad. Since we're keeping it a buck, we also don't know how much Emory will improve. He has definitely shown leadership skills, 100%. But we're going off of what we've seen, like what we saw. Like he led our best win of the season last year. You know what I'm saying? He stayed within his game. He stayed home with it. You know what I'm saying? He's 2-step with it. So it's just he did what he needed to do, and sometimes that's good enough. But we just don't know if he makes those extra plays, and you're gonna need to make next year's schedule is a lot harder than this year's schedule.
Yeah. Oh,
It's gonna have to be better.
crazy.
I don't think we have a soft game in like the first 4 weeks. I think we have like a FAMU or something. But it's 3 tough games next year, away and home. So we gotta be ready.
All right. So who's on campus? You got Jamie French. You got Ronell Brown. Who's coming this weekend? Do we know who's coming?
Man, there's this defensive back, you might have heard of him, DJ Pickett.
Maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's an up and comer. He's not too high on the charts at all. You know what I mean? He's a lot of people sleeping on him. Yeah, just you know what I'm saying? Just a 3-star. Nobody really rates him very high. People are gonna be mad if he drops the graphic. It's not like his entire family has been part of ever. You know what I mean? Like he's little. He's not very well known, but he's on my list to have a breakout year this year.
I heard he's a little dude, man. I heard he's like 6 foot, 5'11". You know what I mean?
Well, he's actually 5'8", but he be telling people he's 6 foot.
Okay.
Yeah. You know how like those. It's one of those where like they don't measure you. You just tell them how tall you are. So that's how they took his metrics. You know what I mean?
So hopefully, you know, he comes in, he works hard, and he can, you know, earn a spot, man. Yeah.
DJ Pickett is.
Is he heading this weekend? Because I also see
Dallas Wilson.
You know what I also see Amari Wallace.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I also see Isaac Souls Jr. He's an old lineman. You know, so there's
Amari Wallace out of Central, right? Amari Wallace from Central?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he's been talked about as potentially being the next guy to.
Yeah, him and Gavin Nix. I saw a lot of Gavin Nix love on the timeline today. Saw a lot of Gavin Nix, obviously from our page. But yeah, man. It's a big weekend. It seems very defensive back oriented. It was one of our weakest spots, right? Yeah. So you got DJ Pickett, Amari Wallace. Who else is coming? Run it down list right quick.
Yeah, according to On3.
Shout out to Azubi, man.
Yeah, Myron Charles, Amari Wallace, Max Buchanan.
Offensive line.
Yep. Saul Reyes. He's a name we haven't heard. He's a safety from St. Louis.
Okay.
Dimitri Manning, big O lineman from Washington. And that's all they have listed, but I feel like there's way more than that. Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be more. All they have listed right now.
I feel like it's gonna be a bigger class than a bigger.
We'll get an official list. You know, I don't know.
We'll recap it, and we'll recap it on Sunday. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying. Azubi, don't be sleeping.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully, we need to get Azubi on.
Yo, shout out to Fidel Kane for the don't know, man. Friday to think QB next year, not on roster. Starting QB this year wasn't on the roster last year. It's a transfer portal season, baby. We trying to win. That's it. That's just what it is. It's nothing personal.
Because the fear is that we win 10, 11 games this year, and then next year we back down to 7, 8. That can't happen.
Cannot happen.
That cannot happen. So if you have to go into the portal for a quarterback that you trust and you know is going to get busy, and you need to wait for somebody on the roster, then that's what you have to do. You know what I mean? So that's what you got to do, man.
Let's see. Gavin Nix won't be a take this by another year. If you know, you know. Okay. Alfred Dakarian Moore, the Brinks truck. Carl Davis, son, like they're offering him the Brinks. They're offering him the Brinks.
They have the Texas money, like the Miami money is dope, but the Texas money is nobody.
It's different.
It's unmatched. So.
Well, 2 weeks ago, like the graphic was 3 5-star wide receivers going to Texas in Lamborghinis.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then Texas dropped the row of Lamborghinis when all the transfers were coming in. Yeah, more is not something I'm gonna even engage in. We're keeping it up. I'm not.
I wish, but nah.
Yeah, 100% wish. Like that's yeah. That's why French is a conversation. French is a conversation. There was something here real quick that I wanted to address. Shout out to all my football heads. Brazil's about to smash that ass. You know what I'm saying? Like it's about to be over. It's over on that, bro. Like,
I don't know nothing about it, so you can speak.
Yeah, I got you real quick. The starting 11 is insane. USA is in shambles. If they pull a draw, it's because they paid. They had a conversation beforehand. Yeah, no, I hate, and I also hate their coach. I hate that they brought him back. He's Manny Diaz to me, just uninspiring. So that's just what it is. All right.
Hold on. Absolutely not. Q. Not at all. Cortez Mills is a problem, but he has to be a problem in the build. The building has to look at him like we look at him. It's not about how we look at him. It's how the building looks at him. So
correct.
If the building don't see him as we see him, which we will probably never see eye to eye with the people in the building because they actually do this for a living. I think Cortez Mills is nice, but I think that there are people who are better than him.
They rate higher. Yep.
Yeah. So
like it becomes one of those things where, and not Cortez Mills specific, but like it becomes one of those things where like we watch the same huddles that they watch, but they get they watch entire football games.
They're at practice, man.
They're at practice. We got jobs and shit. This is their job. So like we just pulled JoJo, Nikar, and Chance Robinson last year, right? Like, got to give them a second to let them know that they about to do some. They know what they're doing. What you know, what I'm saying, with the recruiting process on wide receivers. Like, KB knows what he's doing. He watches this shit extensively and knows how to evaluate. Like, and this is not a Cortez Mills rant. This is just it's June. The people they're having conversations with the rest of the year is what, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You never know.
Yep. Absolutely.
Q Urban says he take Mills over VB3.
I think they're two different types of
slot quarter. Slot and edge, yeah.
But I think VB3 would be in that slot with Ray, you know what I mean, with Robbie.
Nikar.
I don't know. I think Nikar can do both. I think they'll have Nikar outside and inside.
Chance will be outside.
He's a little bigger. Chance and JoJo will probably be outside, but you got to move them around. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's check out Canesville real quick, man, and we're gonna talk about something when we get back.
Oh, yeah.
I got you, man.
Welcome to Canesville.
New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Salute to Canesville, man. I was down there when I went down there on vacay, man, but
you stopped through.
Brett and Jeff wasn't there, man. So,
that's crazy. How dare they have a day off? What they thinking? It's unacceptable.
I forgot, and I'm sorry, man, for names. I forgot the guy's name who was there, man, but he's a cool dude too, man.
The one with the tats. You do
big dude, bigger dude, man. Yeah, he cool, man. You remember his name?
No, sir, because that was back in February or whenever it was. I remember him because I think Brett told us he just got hired like that week or the week before. Same thing as Jeff, like a big fan of the Canes, and I'm saying just kept showing up, and they gave him a job. So there's a little tip: if you keep showing up to Caneswear, you might around and get a job. Hey, real quick, I just want to say this before we get on this next topic. if you watch us, understand that we've marked this content not for kids. So yes, because we do curse, we do say wild-ish, as I'm trying not to curse as much. But in the comments, if you're watching this with your kids, just be mindful of that, because we're not responsible for what they hear when we've already marked our content not for kids. Because there's times when we get caught up and get in our emotions, especially me. I do curse a lot. I've gotten better, but just be, just be mindful of that. Just want to let y'all know in the chat.
All right,
Carl, shout out to Carl all through the chat. I appreciate that shit. Appreciate it, man.
Word, Carl. Keep it coming, fam. We like to talk. We ain't worried about none of that other joint. We talking. You know what I mean?
Okay. I see
right,
what you're trying to do.
Let's talk real quick, man. Look what we got up here real quick, man.
Talk to him,
you know
Joe.
What I mean? Listen. Everybody in this chat, you see it. You know what I mean? We working. We got the newest creation. You see it right here. Let me make it big for you, man. You know what I mean?
Pause.
You see it. We got it in all colors. And it's a very clear statement. You know what I mean? Going into 2024 and beyond.
Forever.
Fuck the big three. It's just big week. We not worried about none of these cats. We going into Gainesville rocking this. You know what I mean? That white one, I love it.
Oh, yeah, got that one on the way. That one is on the way.
For the culture. You know, that shit is so hard right there. For the culture, every other Monday, Flow, AO, you know, we get it popping.
That cream one hits hard, boy. That cream one?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Definitely.
Ooh.
Definitely. Hard.
Real quick, all sales of this shirt go towards NIL for Flows. Since we do that, we share that, you know what I'm saying, share that brand with them. There's only way we try to do our part in making sure we lock these kids down and make sure they're coming home, man.
Yep. A couple months ago, we started with the graphic, with the edits, man. No matter what, you know, playing off the Draft Day movie. You know, when Kevin Costner had the paper, you know, and it was no matter what. What's the dude name that he drafted back? I forgot his name.
I don't know. I know it was what's his name?
I forgot his name.
Chadwick
Mack.
Boseman.
Vontae Mack. No matter what.
Vontae Mack. Yeah.
No matter what. You know what I mean? So we played off that. So we got the shirts, man. But for this year, this season, we trying to flood it, man. So get your gear. You know what I mean? And you know, stop presenting. All right. Shameless plugs. You know, shameless.
It's not shameless. It's our content. That's complete shame. Shameful. Shameful plugs. That's what that is.
Shout out to Kane Sport, man. Azubi, Steven, Gary, and my guy
Matt Shodell.
Matt Shodell. Yep. That's my guy. He keeps it a buck. But I listen to those guys every morning, man. But I wanted to address something they did, man. They've been going through discussing I don't know if it's just Manny Diaz classes or basically the last couple classes. Yeah, they started at 2020. They started at 2020, man, and they were talking about essentially the failure of the classes. You know, essentially saying that the classes were trash because now we can look at it and you can go down the list and see who's been successful, who hasn't, who's still playing, who hasn't been playing. But Gary and Matt were talking about it, and what kind of bothered me a little bit was they were talking about some of these guys should have never been recruited. Now, that 2020 class was the 11th ranked class in the country. You know what I mean? So it was a good, if we're going off of that, because that's what we go off now, right? We go off rankings. When we're in the top 10, when we're in the top 5, everybody has something to say. You know what I mean? But for this class, you know, it was a shitty class according to everybody. Now, hindsight, obviously, there were few contributors in that class. We have Don Chaney. He contributed, but he was the highest rated player in the class. Jalen Knighton, you know, he had a few fumble problems, but Jalen Knighton was explosive. Jalen Knighton had some good, you know, he made some good plays and explosive runs. Chance Williams was a high 4-star on the verge of being a 5-star. He didn't really get going here. Avante Williams, we all know the
everybody wanted him.
Everybody wanted him.
Yep.
These players were offered by Coach Cristobal at Oregon. So Jalen Rivers, obviously, he's still on the squad.
Crazy. Still here.
Crazy, right? Marcus Clark was a corner that was highly coveted. Highly coveted. There are players on this. Elijah Roberts is at SMU currently. He's one of the top 10 D linemen in the country. In the country right now. So somebody said something here, a no heart class.
Yeah, right? Big King.
I respect your opinion, brother. No heart class. Wakanda bad. How, Carl? That's what I'm trying to get at. Now, yes, we're looking back at it. It looks bad now. But at the time, how can you say that? A lot of these kids had 30+ offers. A lot of these kids were offered by Mario Cristobal at Oregon. So is he a bad evaluate? Like, what are we talking about here? Could it be that when they got in the building, something happened? Could it be that when they got in the building, it wasn't ran properly? People were allowed to do whatever they wanted to do.
Walk through practice.
Could it be, you know, that it was more unorganized than some of these people's high school teams? Could it be that?
Leave it down.
You know what I mean? I mean, is that a possibility? That's all I'm saying. Like, could it be that some players, there were rules in place, but when people broke the rules, some were allowed to continue to play and some weren't, and that was an issue for the locker room? Could it be that?
It was broken. Yeah.
And is it all on the players, or was it some of the adults?
Because there were no adults in that building.
Because if it was a culture change that needed to be had, that's not totally on the players.
The culture set by the coaches.
From the top. Culture comes from the top, right? Think about your household. You're head of the household, right? So whatever happens in your household is allowed or not allowed by the head of the household, right? So that's all we're saying, man. It's not totally on. Those kids were highly recruited. A lot of those kids had major offers.
Look, like, I put it to you like this. Look, I don't have kids, right? Like, but I like, if I let my kids do whatever they want, I can't expect things to get done, right? Like, just off GP, like, yo, like, if I tell them, hey, take out the trash, my son don't take it out, and then there's no conversation after the fact. Leaves dirty clothes around. Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mario said that, like, yo, the locker room looked like shit when you walked in.
You're right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not just about towels and dirty clothes. Like, that's about everything. Like, nobody.
Ed Reed touched on that too. Ed Reed
there was no pride in those locker rooms, because if you were a lot, like, fam, if I see Buddy skipping class, there's no repercussions for that. What the fuck am I? Why am I gonna care? That's gonna carry over. Like, we had years and years of that. So I'm not going to blame the evaluation on the kids, and also the hindsight to, like, revisit, to have that as a segment of the respective camp sport is weird, because, like, you're going 5 years back. Like, obviously now you can say how bad they were, yes, it fits the mentality, but like, fam, like if you see your teammates getting away with more than you busting, it's very hard to be the only one doing something right. When everybody, like, how are you gonna look good and you doing your assignment, but you getting set up by failure from everybody around you?
Facts.
There's a reason Kirk Herbstreit had to put the whole program on blast.
Facts.
From the president on down, it wasn't like, yo, you know what? Jay Liney is the fucking reason we're losing.
Facts.
Don Chaney's the reason why we've lost, why we only win 53% of our games.
Facts.
And that's not real life. Like, you want to do you want to reevaluate these classes. Cool. We could reevaluate the first 2 transfer portal classes from Mario. Those were trash. You know what I'm saying? He learned from that. But you saw the difference as you saw the metrics and shit change. All those things are quantifiable. But when you allow 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids to young men to do whatever the fuck they want, you're not going to rein that back in, fam. How many, like, go back to those years. How many stories did we hear before we started this, Joe? People walking through practice, still starting on Saturdays. People not working out all week because they just didn't feel like you still start.
Coming in meetings smelling like, smelling like the lab in the meetings, and you still playing, like, still Kane.
No.
Could a bit of it fall on the players off? Still Kane. That's what we're saying. There's 2 sides to every story. I don't know how old you are, Still Kane, but we have to hold people accountable, son. There's accountability on both sides. I don't know how old you are, but if you're, 30, 40, upper 20s now, think back to when you were 17 or 18. I love when adults that are over 30, over 40 talk about, yo, fuck that kid. He shouldn't have did that shit. At 17, at 17, at 18, at 18, at 17, a young kid doesn't deserve a second chance, or a young kid is going to be as mature as he should be at that time, especially if he's allowed to do whatever he wants. No, I shouldn't rob the bank. But what if the bank manager says, yo, come and take everything you want, fam? You good. I'm going to turn my head. What are we going to do?
Facts.
No, I shouldn't do that. Of course not. Come on, man. Like, you got to think about that type of shit. No, it's not 100% on the building. No, it's not 100% on the young men. But it works both ways. Big Kane said that the kids gave up in games. You know what I mean? They gave up in games. Does that happen now?
Did that happen last year?
Did that happen last year? No, it did not happen. What do you think changed? You think the players changed that drastically? You think the young men are that much different? Or do they have a leader that don't accept that shit? What's the difference? Tell me what the difference is. You know what I mean? Because I would like to know.
So Carl Davis says, okay. Carl, first of all, I'm gonna need you in the chat every Wednesday and Sunday. We are here. So need you in the chat. I love this shit. Like, we don't shy away from any conversation ever. So Carl Davis says Jacoby George is starting on the team. This is a good one. Jacoby George is starting on the team and he had a bunch of shenanigans. So is he really gone? Okay. Yeah. Carl, with a name like Carl Davis, I'm assuming you're somewhere in our age bracket. There's not a lot of young Carls out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you on that, 100%.
Because he was saying that shit all last year. So.
All last year was like, yo, first of all, and I'm a shit talker. I'm a big shit talker. My family knows it. We do it all the time. I don't mind the shit talking. When it starts costing you penalties and you don't get tightened up, that's a problem. Mario said he had a conversation with him. Understand, when Mario says the conversation, it wasn't just like, hey, you got to stop doing that. It was very much so, hey, fuck around and you're gone. Mario's an intense dude. I've met him. There's no off switch with him. Now, with Jacoby George, I also give you this. Let's give you full context and nuance because we're a show we can do that. Understand the difference between anecdotal evidence and empirical evidence. Are there a bunch of Are there a bunch of Jacoby Georges on the team? Are there a bunch of people fucking around?
Facts.
Are there on offense and defense of the ball? Are they all doing a bunch of stupid shit, or is there only one? How many stupid motherfuckers did we look? Respectfully, how many stupid motherfuckers do we have the years before? A bunch of them. Like we had 5 stars that weren't able to catch the ball started every week. Right, we had players blocking each other that were there the next starting on that in the beginning 11. Go down the line. Jacoby George is a young man that faced a lot of challenges. One of the best route runners on the team. I could give both sides of it. He's the only one, right? But he also gave you 850 some yards with you know what I'm saying, cooking and having his issues. Has he gotten better? Is he going to improve? It's all on him. And if he doesn't do well, he's going to sit down. And then there's other people behind him. Like, those two things matter. Empirical and anecdotal, my brother, that matters. He is one. There isn't 22 Jacoby Georges on this team. There was 84 to 85 Jacoby Georges before. So that's just
and
real life, man.
I'm sure there's people on the team like X. I'm sure Inez Cooper done gotten his ass. I'm sure, you know what I mean, the vocal leaders on that team been like, yo, you got to chill with this shit. You got to chill. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's clearly a difference, Carl, and everybody else. It's clearly a difference between the leadership, the behavior, the growth, the discipline between 2020, 2021, and now. Clearly, son. If you're saying it's not, you're fucking just trying to be combative. Like, you're just trying to.
You're just choosing the opposite side to choose the opposite side. Look, man, like I'm not saying I'm not his lawyer. I'm not here to defend them to that level. Like, the people make dumb mistakes, and the shit you're bringing up and people posting about it is his personal life. I don't like, as long, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like street, like he was street racing or some shit. The charges got dropped because it was wrong. Like, give the context of it. Like, charges don't get dropped because he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He did it. That's not how that shit works. It's not. Miami-Dade Police Department isn't known for being understanding in that way. Trust me. I know those motherfuckers. Let me see. There was a question up here. I love this comment. 904 says, who developed now? We're just gonna slide not act like Inez Cooper has been developed, completely changed his body. You think that's just because he wanted to change his body?
Who developed?
Yeah.
What do you mean 904? Who developed now?
No, I think he was like asking. He was asking because 904 Hurricanes. This conversation should be directed at the lack of development. And so QB goes, who's been developed now? I mean, that's
the development is not just physically, people. Like, it's really not just physically. The job, they have to develop these young boys and to men. Like, they have to. No, they're not their parents, but when parents drop off their sons, this is a crucial time, man. From 17 to 21, you still have to be developed, son. It's not just physically, it's mentally as well. So
yeah, but they only see the physical. So if I'm giving them the physical, Inez Cooper is a perfect example of who the fuck can be developed. Steel Kenny's 35. Young buck. We out here with our 40s, baby. We up here in our 40s.
Inez Cooper, fucking Jalen Rivers.
Jalen Rivers, Francis Magoa. We're gonna let a freshman, Ruben Bain. What it was, Ruben Bain, just because he was Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain, I think, got better as he played more and got that's development. I thought Jacob X was crazy, stopped falling on all his routes and was the king of the yaks for most of the season. DP2, you know what I'm saying? Should definitely shave his head though. Like, if we're keeping it all the way a buck. It's just developed. Yeah, JHA. Like, it's just
super developed.
I don't like, are we playing just the end? You know what I'm saying? Like, the win-loss record? Or are we watching these games and like realizing that like games that would have been blowouts for so many years we were in? Right? Like, this isn't like a participation. So like, those things are measurable. Like, we went from, was it 95 in total offense to 25 or 27, depending on which one you look at. That's development and that's growth. Like, all these things matter. Yeah, we lost games that we shouldn't have lost, but that's part of the process. This shit isn't. I don't want to be TCU. You know what I'm saying? I don't like 1 year you end the shit and then next year you can't win the game. It's Zay Horton. Like if y'all in the chat, CB's handling the development. So shout out to CB. Like it's so 2020, 2021. I think we back to it.
Couch was terrible. See, this is what I don't understand. I don't understand what people watch. Couch was terrible. How was Couch terrible? I don't get it.
Carl, what? Hey man, Carl.
Yeah, I don't know what
he wasn't.
Carl wants.
I don't know what he wants. Carl, what's your like? Carl, are you the guy that like if the Hurricanes go like say 13-2, will lose one game in the season and then lose a game in the playoffs, you'll be like, they should have won them all. Like, are you that guy? That like if they win by a field goal, you get mad because they didn't win by 15? Like what's your metric for judging games?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, yeah. See, so he's just okay. Now I understand, Carl. Yeah. He's just playing the end. He's not. That's all he's looking at. Yeah. He's that like okay, Carl. You know what? I appreciate that because that's also true. And that's also true. But like
it can be it can be two things. You can go 7-5 and you can still have guys that developed. Like two things could have happened at the same time. Yeah.
We went 10-3 in 2017, and every game was a score. How is that different? Right, because most of our losses last year were by less than 10 points, less than a touchdown.
Yeah,
that was just a flip. That's just how it goes. Okay, so how many guys are we getting? Carl might be a op, yo. Like Carl might with this.
Nah, he ain't. I get what he's saying. We've been in this situation for a while, so people are tired. I get it. But who did we get? Obviously, everybody knows the answer to that.
Come on, Carl. Like,
you know what I mean? Everybody knows obvious. The answer, but I'm not clear what your point is or what you're saying. Like, are you saying there has been no development? And if so, what are you watching? How has there been no development when there's been improvement? So I'm confused on that fact.
I do like Charles King. Lost 5 games by 46 points total. Nose lost 1 game by 60. Facts. Yeah, Carl. I think some people watch like when you just play the end of the movie, right, and not see how a character develops through it. You're just gonna play like, but he was the bad guy the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like when you stay stuck in like one point of view, it's hard to like accept anything else that happens. Because notice when I engage with Carl, again, shout out to Carl, be here every time. You know what I'm saying? Like when I engage with him, it's like he didn't have a response for the Jacoby George thing, right? Like you're saying like, Jacoby George should have been gone. Like fam, like, but that's the conversation, is like that's development. You hold people accountable and you let them go. Like there's people who have been held accountable during the offseason about many different things that I've gotten, you know what I'm saying, that I've stayed here and answered the bell. That have taken less money when they didn't need to, because somewhere else would have offered them more. Like there's things happening that you're just like, no, but we were 7-5. Yeah, no shit, Carl. We all lived 7-5. We all lived the not kneel. We all lived getting outpaced by North Carolina. We all lived all that shit. We're right there with you.
Wait, hold up. You're going in Carl. You just said these guys are not being developed, but it's not the coach's fault. Who's doing the developing? I'm
Carl to take it over. We should change it. Carl Davis' show.
No, I want to have this conversation because I'm confused. All right, so the players are not being developed according to Carl. We're talking about Carl's talking points, right?
Right.
And then Carl says it ain't all the coach's fault. It's a reason the guys in the portal coming in and playing. So where does the development come in at, Charles? I'm like,
Carl,
who does the development?
Charles. We got Charles King.
Charles, I'm sorry, Carl. Yeah. Where does the development come in at, Carl? I'm sorry.
All right, so let's break this down with the portal guys, right? Offense, quarterback, running back, because our starting running back is hurt in Mark Fletcher, right? As far as transfers, Zach Carpenter and Sam Brown. 4, right? And Sam Brown isn't going to be a starter. Most likely it's going to be between him and Zay Horton. So that's possibly 4. We're just talking this year. Defensive side. You got Kiko. Defensive, we had to restart because guys left. You got the 2 defensive tackles because young guys didn't, because guys left, and that's been a struggle for us for years, right? So you got CJ Clark and Simeon Barrow. You got a bunch of guys. You need a bunch of trenches, so that you're gonna have to cycle them up. But you also got the best defensive line in the country last year, and you had 2 guys coming in, Elias Rudolph, Booker Pickett, which is gonna be a problem. Just you gotta like not read the comments to be able to get a thought off before Carl just responses for the day. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And then Kiko, right? And then in the secondary, gonna have Mish Powell and everybody else. His DP2, if you want to put that, but this is his 3rd year, and he's gotten better. Last year, he basically nobody caught the ball on DP2. So,
all right. So Brandon says, why can't I get to that? I kind of understand where he's coming from with development. The team didn't play in fast motion. The play was slow and boring. The team looked faster, more exciting. Should have looked faster with more exciting plays.
Mm-hmm.
Who designs and calls the plays, Brandon? Like there are ways they could have looked faster. There are ways they could have looked more explosive. But I don't know who. So all right, Brandon, Texas A&M. Did the team look explosive and fast and slow and boring, or
Yeah.
Because there were Brashard Smith looked very fast and explosive and uncatchable.
Jacoby George looked very fast and very explosive.
Yeah. He
Zay
did.
Horton.
X just isn't that, but he's the best slot probably in the country.
Yep.
We had a quarterback that wasn't any of those things.
Yep.
Fast or explosive.
Yep. He was slow and boring. Could that be why the plays were? Could that be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have to put those people in positions to show that they are what you want them to be.
Which is what we always talk about. Which is what CB says. Yeah, no,
Again, Carl, what does that have to do with how the offense looked? Because the offense didn't look like that against Georgia Tech.
No, it didn't.
The offense didn't look like that against
North Carolina State.
What did Clemson go?
9-4.
Clemson won more games than Miami, correct?
Yep. How did that offense look in the 3rd quarter when they punished?
It looked all right. You know what I mean? It looked all right. Florida State, the offense looked all right. We just didn't have a quarterback. That defense was Georgia Tech was smashed Texas A&M. Yeah. Okay.
All
right. So I guess there's some people. Yeah. Okay. All right. I hear you.
All right.
How did we look against Louisville? Well, we were at the game.
Yeah.
We looked. We scored a lot against Louisville. I don't know. What do you mean?
I don't know what we're talking about. Carl, what are we doing, Carl? Carl, I'm gonna need you to stay.
Had defenders running into each other, but we talking about.
So he's changing.
So topics. Now the defense.
Yeah. So you're talking about the defense that lost 6 starters on the defensive line? Are you going to give again, Carl, context and nuance, my brother? You have your thumbs ready, capable, and willing, as we've seen through the comments. I'm gonna need you to have some confidence. We're talking to you. We're talking. This has been. I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, but you're confusing the shit out of me in a way, and I could read well. Like this is mind blowing to me. I think. All right, still Kane. Let's go back. Carl got. Carl can't sit next to me at a game. It must be frustrating. He must complain about like he must be that guy that like goes back because his drink was a little too flat, even though everybody else's was perfect. He just sees shit differently. I think outcomes are 60-40 on players. Okay. And that's an understandable perspective to have. I respect that perspective because you have to be, at the end of the day, players have to be accountable to themselves, right? Regardless of coaching and teaching, players have to be susceptible to learning. If they're not there, they move on. They hit the transfer portal and you move on. That's 100%. That's right. But the coaches have to be. You have to have good teachers in that building. You have to understand, as every teacher, we've all been students, right? We've all been students. You have to understand that your teachers, you have to teach each student differently. You can't. You might not be able to teach Joe the same way you can teach me. Teach CB, teach Poke.
Or why do you pay coaches millions of dollars?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're paid this way for a reason.
Facts.
You can't just get players in and that's it because they're good players.
Carl, I get it.
Oh shit!
Oh, Carl, you should have stopped. You know what? I apologize, young man.
My bad, Carl. Yeah, my
bad, youngin. My bad.
Matter of fact, Carl, next time when I go to a game, I have an extra seat. You sitting with me, Carl.
Yeah, we got you, Carl. You only know trauma. You got to watch highlights on you. It's not easy, brother. Listen. Imagine seeing greatness and then seeing it fall off. It is difficult. It is okay, Carl. I respect you, brother. I appreciate being it. You might be the youngest person that watches this shit. If we're keeping it a buck, it might. You know what I'm saying? There ain't many of us. CB says Carl can sit next to him.
Okay, my bad. Yeah.
My bad, Carl. We good,
next
baby.
time we got you, son. We got you, Carl. For real. My bad.
Back is big against UF based on how coherent, fluid our spring was compared to theirs. Fam, their offense was terrible.
Yeah, we're gonna break that down. I really don't think you can put too much stock in the spring games, but we're gonna break it down, Star. We definitely gonna talk about it.
But one thing you're supposed to be is at least coherent.
Carl Davis said I was rocking with Kevin Olsen. Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Sheesh. That's crazy.
CB, he said Kevin Olsen, CB. That's not
Carl. Who was your
he started out, he came into it just
rough, bro.
Yo, that Sanchez DB is a problem, Fresh. Yeah.
We need to recruit top DBs and corners, please. Don't let Ohio State take them. Oh no, Ohio State's gonna fall apart, bro.
I have a feeling that's gonna fall apart, Fresh. Yeah.
Fam, have you seen the fact that like Michigan is taking their whole staff? Like their whole support staff.
Oh yeah.
Michigan is hiring. So shout out to that's the only other team I respect like that, man. So shout out to him. Yeah, Carl, who was your first quarterback? Did you say Kevin Olsen?
It's Kevin Olsen, son. That's how you started?
I would have been out. Yeah, 100% him. 100% Henry.
That's facts, Henry. Yeah.
Devin Sanchez. We need Nux, Cohen, and Cooper at guard. I wouldn't be surprised if next year we're getting way ahead of ourselves, but you see Francis on the inside. I think Francis on the inside with the tackles that we got. Because remember, we got Markel Bell, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. We still got a whole season to go. Poble's my guy, man. Poble's my guy.
We're gonna do a season breakdown, man. We're gonna start. When did we say July or August?
Yeah, July.
July. We're gonna start in July, probably middle July. We'll start. And we'll break down all the not all the opponents. We're not breaking down Ball State and them, man.
No. We skipping most of September or all of it until Cal, basically.
Carl said Thurston Armbruster was his favorite players.
This guy, Carl, and
no knock on Thurston, because
knock on Thurston.
Thurston was all right. Thurston Howell the third was all right, man. But
you know what's crazy? Fuck Carl, you keep putting Carl about to experience college football. Like he has, was it Carl? So that means you were what, 10 or 11, 12 when the last college football came out? So you never really got to like build your dynasties Yo, next month is gonna be a moment for you, Carl. You get to when you get to start winning with your team that you love and building it, fam. Ain't nothing like it. Yo, Carl only knows trauma. Carl, listen, brother. We are here every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 for your therapy, my brother. Come through, chop it up with us. We appreciate it. Everybody else in the chat, we appreciate y'all as well. Steel Kane, Fresh 3542, Charles King. Let's see, Rich and Corleone. Another young buck. I'm 26 and I know everything from the 2000s. Yeah, fam, because you do. That's because you do research and shit. But you watch the highlights. It's not the same. Or 2000, what? You were 2, son. Like, what type of recollection do you have? Shout out to Brandon. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Porch Kane that came through the chat, man. Shout out to everybody on the rewatch. Joy, you got anything else for the people?
Nah, man. Yo, we appreciate your call, man. Our apologies. You know,
I take it all back.
You've been traumatized. I apologize for that. If you ever want to talk, you know what I mean, you can reach out to us. You know what I mean? Hopefully you out some games, Carl. I don't know where you at, brother. But you know, we'll link up if you at some games, man. Tailgates, we always outside, man. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely need to link up, man.
Once again, man, y'all make sure to check out the website, youheardpodcast.com /merch.
904, we see you, 904. Definitely.
We in the building, baby. All right, man. Appreciate y'all so much. Let's drop this and get up out of here, man. Appreciate y'all.
Well, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed it. We had a ball making it.